Time for my June wrap-up and July to be read. In the beginning of June, I read the rest of the Giver series, starting with Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry, and then The Messenger, and then Sun. They were amazing, I really enjoyed them, and I recommend them to everybody, the Giver series. Next, I read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which I absolutely loved. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. It went really quickly for me and I enjoyed every minute of it. It took me a long time, but I read The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Sorry for pronouncing it poorly. I don't know how I feel about this book. I really hated the narrator. He was a terrible person. He really got on my nerves, and although he kind of attempts to redeem himself by the end of the book, I wasn't convinced. I was still really mad at him. Some of the characters I really loved, like his father was really good, and his best friend growing up was an amazing character. And some really terrible stuff happens in the book. It's not really a feel-good book. But yeah, try it for yourself and see what you think. I have really mixed feelings about it. There were parts that I really liked, parts that I really hated, and this is one of the only books I've ever had to skip passages in because I couldn't get through it. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from this book, and I wouldn't have known it otherwise, so I'm really thankful I read it. I read Room by Emma Donoghue, and I loved this book. The back of the book says, "To 5-year-old Jack, Room is the world. It's where he was born, it's where he and Ma eat and sleep and play and learn. But to Ma, Room is the prison where she's been kept since she was 19 for 7 long years. Through her fierce love for her son, she has created a life for him in this 11 by 11 foot space, but these walls can't hold him forever." Amazing book. I could not put it down, except for one point I had to put it down because I was so scared of what was going to happen. Suspenseful. There were happy times, sad times, everything in this book. I adored it. I was reading it in the car. It made me feel car sick, but I could not stop reading this book. Amazing book. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. And I loved it. I read that in a day. Just really sweet, really cute story. Yeah, easy read, really sweet. Really enjoyed it. I finally finished Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and illustrated by Fiona Staples, and I bought Saga 2. Loved these. These are the best graphic novels I've read in a very long time. The illustrations are fantastic. It starts off with the main characters, this little family, the baby being born, and people coming in to try and kill them and take the baby. It's just an insane beginning, and they love each other so much, and it's just all about this family kind of getting through this war together. Incredible story. RASL, RASL by Jeff Smith. I'm loving this so far. It's only the first one, but I love his artwork. And it's huge too. This book is huge. Just like this way size. I mean, look at it compared to other graphic novels. Yeah, but it's really interesting. It's about a guy who's, I guess, an art thief, and he can jump through dimensions, sort of like parallel dimension jumping. Really interesting. And I just bought and read Chiggers by Hope Larson. Like, they're at a school camp, and it kind of shows the dark side of teenage girls. This one really shows sort of the flaws that can be in people's characters, even if they're good people. I really enjoyed it. It had sort of like a supernatural element to it as well. Like something kind of interesting's happening with electricity and stuff. It was really interesting. I was really surprised and really pleased that I picked it up. Those are the books I read in June. I also finished American Gods by Neil Gaiman and City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, both of which I really enjoyed. And in the case of City of Bones, I look forward to reading the sequels. So for the month of July, since the 1st of July is Canada Day, I figured I'd read Canadian authors for this month, since I'm Canadian. The first book I'm going to read this month is Obasan by Joy Kogawa. Next, I'm going to read Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. This was a book I read in high school that I really enjoyed, and Margaret Atwood's Canadian, and it's post-apocalyptic kind of, and it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it when I was younger, so I'm going to read that. And then next I'm going to read The Year of the Flood by Margaret Atwood, which I have not read yet and I look forward to reading. Next I'm going to read Bloodletting and Miraculous Cures by Vincent Lamb. I'm not sure what this is about, but I got it at the thrift store and I'm looking forward to checking it out. The next book I'm going to read is by Lucy Maud Montgomery, Anne of Green Gables. I know I've never read this book, and as a Maritimer Canadian, I think it's a book that I should have read when I was younger. Can't believe I didn't. Gonna remedy that this month. Unless by Carol Shields. I don't know anything about this book, but I know she's a Canadian author, and it was 99 cents at the thrift store, so I figured I'd check it out. I've never read any Carol Shields books before. Gonna fix that this month. The Stone Angel by Margaret Laurence. I don't think I've read any novels by Margaret Laurence yet, so I'm excited to get to it. I also have a couple of books that I ordered from Amazon.ca, and hopefully they'll get here soon. I've got Sweet Tooth by Jeff Lemire on its way. I also picked up the second Sweet Tooth, so hopefully I'll be able to get to that in July as well. I also ordered Half-World by Hiromi Goto. I'm looking forward to reading that as well. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So yeah, that's my to be read for July. What are you going to read this month? Hope you have a great Canada Day to all of you Canadians, and also to all of you non-Canadian people. Enjoy the month of July, and I'll see you next time. Bye!